lots of residents are digging out, including those in Bridgeport. News 12's Frank Recchia with more.
As folks are out cleaning up from the storm, they're seeing that what's being called great snow for making snowballs can also make for a more difficult cleanup. Ed Feldheim in Black Rock digging out his pickup truck and telling us it took a little longer than expected due to the snow's heavy makeup. A busy morning for all the crews out there working the storm. We saw one snowplow after another getting the job done. Ed saying it wasn't a big storm, but cleanup-wise, the snow definitely packed a punch.
There's clearly a lot of water in it, so it's like, you know, when you're going across the sidewalk, it's like a 2 scoop rather than a 1 scoop. You know, you got to kind of give yourself a little bit of relief there.
Coming up, we're going to meet a guy with an amazing story who goes out with his shovel and gives back without expecting any money in return. In Bridgeport, Frank Recchia, News 12, Connecticut.
Heard the man. Overnight snow left us with about 3 inches worth. So for people in Riverdale, that means it's time to go sledding. News 12's Jody Juliana Powell is at Ewin Park, where the snow fun has just begun.
Waking up early isn't usually the routine for Sunday mornings, but today with this fresh layer of snow on the ground, people are at Ewin Park on the slope. The park known to Bronxites as one of the best places to sled. A dozen people braved the cold this morning to take part in their favorite winter activity, telling me once they finish their fun, they're going inside to get some hot chocolate. One man said he looks forward to snowstorms like the one we got last night.
Whenever there's a snowstorm the next day and it's calm like this, then I come and check out this hill because this is a really popular hill to go sledding down. Got to find an area that's smooth, and hopefully you have a sled. Not like us, we have a plastic bin lid, which works. I've also seen kids with cardboard.
For those of you who don't like the snow as much, sanitation has already plowed most of our streets and is spreading salt to melt some of that snow down. From Riverdale, Jody Juliana Powell, News 12, the Bronx.
So there's a lot happening here on the roads right now. I want to head over to our Kevin Vesey though right now. He is in Syosset seeing how things are there. And Kevin, what does it look like?
Yeah, so Kurt, the cleanup really is in full swing here in Syosset. We saw the snowplows making a few passes here on Jackson Avenue right behind me, and storekeepers are starting to shovel out the sidewalks in front of their shops right now. Here's a quick look at what it looks like on the road. You can see there's plenty of blacktop out there. Cars are moving around, but if you look over here to the left, you see there still is plenty of slush in some areas. So if you're driving around, you certainly want to take it slow. Just a look at what the snow here looks like. You can see we got quite a bit here in Syosset, and if you look closely, you can see that there's just this layer of kind of ice on top of the snow. You heard Rich Hoffman talking about it, just this crust of ice on top. And if you poke right through, see what the snow looks like. This is just some heavy, wet snow here. Pretty good for snowball making, not so great for shoveling. We're going to send it back over to you, Jen, in the studio. We're going to keep taking a look at conditions out here in the meantime.
And meanwhile, we're taking a look at the aftermath of the snowfall from last night, where our boroughs saw at least 3 inches of snow that hit the ground. News 12's Morgan Scott spoke with Canarsie residents getting an early handle on the cleanup this morning. Morgan, what's it looking like out there?
Well, right now, for those just starting their morning, you have just a little work cut out for you. DSNY has already done a great job clearing out most of the streets here. As for what's left over, a bit of shoveling to get your car out for the day and clearing the sidewalks surrounding your home, which we've seen mostly still covered with snow in several areas. Canarsie residents getting ahead of the cleanup say it could have been much worse.
I came out about 30 minutes ago just to shovel. But the problem is that, you have to do that. If you don't do that, any problem happen in front of your house, your insurance is going to be like a wolf. That is why I woke up early this morning to do that.
The good news this morning is that the snow has stopped and people can go on enjoying the rest of their Super Bowl Sunday. In Canarsie, Morgan Scott, News 12 Brooklyn.
People all over the state are cleaning up from this, as you saw with those photos we showed you, much of it in North Jersey. News 12's Amanda Eustace with more from Main Avenue in Passaic.
The 3 S's were on full display here in the city of Passaic. Shoveling, snow blowing, and salt were all out as many people look to clean up the mess left behind during this snowstorm.
It's heavy. You know, you got to stop and take a break because I got a heart problem. Making it passable for the people to go to school, and opening up spots that they could get onto the sidewalk and everything, you know. I don't want nobody to fall and get hurt.
Mike Valera is a landlord. He was out with his buddy cleaning one of his properties before going home to clear his own.
It's terrible. I mean, as you can see, it's like slushy on the road, but where it's not walked on, I guess after it snowed, it rained a little bit, causing a nice sheet of ice on top. So it's a little heavy.
Others say clearing off the ice-snow mix off a small property wasn't that bad.
It was like icy slush mix, nothing very complicated. I used a broom to brush my vehicle. Not that bad, but I mean, it's a little piece. I can imagine other people with drivers and everything.
As for this year's snowfall so far, those here in Passaic say winter hasn't been terrible. Many just want it over with.
That week that it was 10-9 degrees, that was the hardest, but everything else we had worse, way worse.
I hope this is the last one. That's what I hope, because I can't take any more. My daughter loves it, but we don't.
Winter's winter. It's going to be what it's going to be.
You almost expect it.
Yeah.
And with temperatures expected to dip below freezing tonight, make sure to get out and take care of it before it turns to ice. In Passaic, Amanda Eustace, News 12 New Jersey.
Let's get you through this weekend. Who better than Jade Nash, who's been in Thunderbolt 12 all day. What's the latest, Jade?
Hello, Alex. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. It's not so warm out here in the field right now. We are in northern Westchester. We decided to shake things up a little bit since it's the afternoon time. We wanted to bring you guys something fresh and show a new area. So residents in Shrub Oak and Yorktown, that means we are coming for you. So if you see us driving around in your neighborhood or at your stores or shops coming out of church, feel free to come up and say hello. We've been in residents' neighborhood all day so far. Right now, where we are, it appears that conditions are drying up. Several cars are on the road. They're making their errands, heading to their destination. The snowfall does appear to be over at this time, and that means the cleanup has started. Earlier, we were in Mamaroneck, where we spoke to some people who were in Washington Street. They say they've been out all day trying to clear the snow off of their residential street because flooding is a concern for them. Now, while some people were nervous about this potential problem, others found a silver lining in their shoveling efforts. One man said it was even a good excuse for him to get outside and get some exercise today.
Of course, it's on Super Bowl Sunday, but you know what? We're going to burn those carbs right before the big game today. So we're out here with the neighbors, clearing the snow. We're helping our neighbor across the street.
So as you just heard, not only are people using this as an excuse to get exercise, they're also taking the opportunity to get outside and bond with their neighbors and do some good deeds on this Super Bowl Sunday. I'm now going to send it back to the studio where we find our very own Tara Joyce.